guys? I am so happy to have you join me today for another episode of EVOL. I am your host, Monette Brann-Natta, and today we're going to kind of pick up where we left off last week, as we often do. I was thinking about this over the past few weeks, really, as these last few episodes have been congealing and coming together, and I've been thinking about how we move forward. And the next thing that floated up to me during my meditations was the Verizon guy. Yeah, the Verizon guy. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Now, we've seen him a lot lately on our television as he's switched his allegiances to Sprint, and so now he's working for them. But this isn't about the battle of the phone companies. This is about the concept and the very powerful message and that marketing campaign that he did that really kind of got all of our attention several years ago. Can you hear me now? Last week, we talked about how we are to be writing down our dreams and talking about them to ourselves and writing down things to make sure that we are meeting our goals. And we went over that Forbes article, that fantastic article, which really detailed the steps for that and how you can kind of take your own success into your hands. Well, I use various tools in order to propel myself forward in my life. And one of those tools is listening. It's meditating. It's breath work. More specifically, it's binaural beats. It's body language reading. And it's breath work again. Now, I don't mean body language reading like we are in the CIA and we're trying to discern whether someone is telling us the truth or not by a twitch of their nose, which is a real thing, guys, and we could talk about that later. What I mean by that is paying attention to the messages that your body's giving you. One of the things, though, that I first kind of got into many years ago was binaural beats, and it's an absolute way to kind of self-hypnotize. There's EFT, and there's all kinds of things which we will talk about as well. But this is one of the very easy ways because there are a plethora of free-to-you programs that really run this down and give you meditations. You can also purchase them and find them all throughout Hay House, which is one of my favorite metaphysical sites to find, one of my favorite metaphysical sites to use. So let's talk about binaural beats. What the heck does that even mean? These are positive affirmations that are specifically designed to awaken the vast storehouse of your profound inner potential. It's positive thinking, and it enables you to manifest your highest intentions in every area of your life. Here's the thing, and this is what we've been talking about while we've been together sharing energy on Evolve. You have the right to live an amazing life now. It doesn't matter if you are a stay-at-home mom. It doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter if you are just going to a 9-to-5. All of these things there's greatness in. All of these things you can find joy in and you can find your purpose in. It is now time to kind of waken your best possible future. And with the power of affirmations, which I've talked about, you will program your mind to make massive action now and to have more drive than you could have ever imagined. And these are some of the things that the binaural beats work on. They work on success, weight loss, self-love, confidence, wealth and prosperity, self-esteem, love in general, health and healing, and money. So it's really easy. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you do with it, but then I'm going to go into exactly what they are because that may sound like a foreign language, binaural beats. What you do when you're ingesting these binaural beats is you got to sit back and you put your headphones on. Headphones are very important with binaural beats. With monaural beats, meaning one, you can listen to it in its open speaker in your home. But there's something magical about slipping those headphones or those earbuds in and really tuning in. So you sit back, put on your headphones, and you enjoy the path that you're kind of led on through positive thinking. Usually there's someone speaking, and they're guiding you, so there's nothing to fear here. It's a visualization session, essentially. I would say it's a visualization on steroids. So in the audio, you will hear and begin with deep breathing exercises, which will help you to relax and to feel comfortable. And then you will be encouraged to visualize a confident memory in your life. And as you begin to go through that list of confident memories, you will have powerful confirmations. And as you begin to listen to these success affirmations, you will find yourself feeling more positive than before the session began. Now, here's the thing. The thing about this is you have to open yourself up fully to this visualization session. You have to really fill in and find out what empowers you. So you do have a responsibility to plug into your own memories of moments when you felt strong and when you felt capable. And this binaural beat situation is unlike any other tool you've previously tried. It will open you up to the way you see your day-to-day, your tomorrow, and your far into the future. You'll find yourself excited again for goals that you once thought were too difficult to reach. As you feel this confidence rise, you will begin to accomplish things that you hadn't felt you could in a very long time. What I noticed is that my personal drive reignited. I had a renewed sense of hope about the world around me, and I started to embrace the power of positive thinking. But you're not only putting out positive energies, you're also getting so much back in return. And that, friends, is the law of attraction at play. When you think of good things, then good things are coming your way. It's what we've been saying this whole time. The energy you put out is the energy you get back. And it's very interesting because the binaural beats are measured by hertz, which is a frequency measurement, okay? So what happens, and we'll get a little bit more into that, is there's a frequency that's being transmitted to you that you're really starting to vibrate on this level. And what I love about the binaural beats is it almost sounds like several people are speaking to you, even though it may be one person. It sounds like they're doing an overlap of their voice. So you're not able to focus on every single word. And that's why I think it's important you vet which binaural beat you're using, because this is a form of self-hypnosis, not recommended to utilize while you're driving, of course, something to be done in your home while you're seated, while you're comfortable. So when you're listening to this, you're getting an overlapping. It's a really interesting sensation of information. Now, it's not putting you out. You're not in a trance. I am fully able to write and do my meditation writing when I'm doing it. But what I find is that I'm imbued with the sense of I can accomplish anything when I'm listening to these binaural beats. And it is interesting how it finds its way into your day and into your life. I was listening to some that were specific. There were some about weight loss. There were some about writing. There were some about finding success, period, in your life. And I would notice that whichever one I was listening to, if it was the weight loss one, I would find myself throughout my week feeling more interested in eating healthy, feeling more interested in getting to the treadmill, feeling more interested in taking care of myself in a myriad of ways. And it was the subliminal kind of playing of this binaural beat that really affected the way that I carried myself through my week. If it was about success, the same thing. I was looking for opportunities and new venues and new vistas to look out over. I was looking for ways to transform my life. So your personal drive, like we said, reignites. And you'll get to watch as your personal and professional, this is really important, relationships start to strengthen. You will find yourself embracing new opportunities, like I just mentioned. I was looking for them. I didn't say, well, I listened to my binaural beat today, and what I will do is now look for opportunities. It just felt like the world opened up, and I saw the things that were right in front of me. In fact, me talking to you today on EVOL, on the Talk Network Radio, is as a result of a lot of writing and a lot of binaural beats. It's an opportunity that I may not have jumped on prior to, because I wouldn't have known if it was something I should or could do. But with the help of those binaural beats, I knew I was in tune, I was taking time to be quiet, and I knew it was the right move for me. And that is how binaural beats open you up. Your relationships, again, will really start to shift, and this type of lifestyle can be really rich in quality. It also enriches the lives of everyone around you, because if you start to adjust your life and to grow, then the lives around you are touched. And it is then that you are living up to your maximum potential. You'll feel unstoppable, folks. I really thought at first, I'm like, okay, what's going on with this? Is this a hoax? You know, this seems kind of like woo-woo. And I love a little bit of woo-woo. but I also am a scientist at heart. I really like research. I really like facts. And so I sometimes can be a doubting Thomas, if you're familiar with that biblical term. And I wanted to know if this worked. And so I thought, well, the best scientists experiment on themselves. And so I did. And my life transformed with the use of the binaural beats. It really got me into the flow of the law of attraction, of success and wealth, which was really starting to be drawn to me because I had before a different kind of consciousness. And really, this is the way that we kind of picture our life, is in a thriving manner. The secret to getting into this really wonderful place is changing your mindset. Now, we hear people say that. We hear people say, you are the tapes that you play in your head. This was really big in our self-help 1990s, the Oprah, Dr. Phil, sphere. We really understood, what are the tapes you're playing? Well, I remember hearing that and thinking, what are the tapes that I'm playing? I'm playing some kind of tapes. And they weren't really positive tapes. They were tapes that were not uplifting or encouraging to me, but I was replaying them. Now, here's where binaural beats takes it to the next step, or any kind of positive guided meditation. I really like the binaural beats, though. Again, guys, let me stress that, because what you're doing is a form of self-hypnosis where you are really transforming your life. The reason that I like them so much is because it got me out of my head. And being a thinker and a bit of a scientist, I can analyze things to the end of the earth. Some of my dear friends say you turn things to mush, because I always want to make sure I've got it right. I always want to make sure I take responsibility for my part in any situation. I always want to make sure that I've extracted the positive message from whatever is happening around me. And so sometimes I can overthink it. I think a lot of us can be that way. With the binaural beats, I am taken out of myself a little bit. Again, there's no magic guy that's coming in there. But what's happening is I'm taken out of my mind and the way that I can mastrate something a little bit too much, and I'm able to just tap into my greatest self, which is underneath those layers. So it's really important, guys, that you kind of figure out which binaural beats are best for you. I could, of course, give you recommendations. You can hit me up on Facebook and let me know what you're thinking about this once you've listened to the show, and I can certainly pass that along to you. Now I've talked a little bit about what the binaural beats, or how they've affected my life, rather. Let me explain to you exactly what they are, so that this is the science part, guys. So if you love science, tune in, and if you don't, tune in. You need to hear this, okay? So I will tell you, like I did, for some time I've been using them to help me focus while I'm writing. And I'm convinced that they help me focus. But for some other reason, it's not just the ritual of putting on the binaural track, but putting it on helps me to get into my zone. It helps me to get committed to finishing something, and it makes my productivity soar. And the science behind it, like I said, seems to be a little bit incomplete right now. And that's something that I want to address, because I never want to recommend something to you that I haven't fully fleshed out. Now, I've tried this out, and I also understand that I've mentioned this guy to you again, and we may have a whole show just with the subject of him, Dr. Joe Dispenza. We're really just starting to get into the final frontier of our brains. There is so much that we didn't know, and we are just starting to understand how our brains really work. So there is science that's being developed as we speak, like at light speed, really. So when I need to start cranking out a lot of words, and sometimes music can make me irritable because I start to try to decipher and listen to the lyrics and the notes and every instrument that's playing, I use these, like I said, these binaural beats. So this is what they are. They're two nearly similar frequencies that are played in each ear, hence the headphones, guys. While you're listening to the headphones, your brain will process this information, and you will hear a third frequency. For example, when one ear hears 100 hertz, the other ear hears 110 hertz, and you will hear it as 10 hertz as a result in combined. I know that's a lot of science and very confusing. Let me get it basic for you. This is what I was explaining to you, is that overlapping. It almost sounds like